So many times on the internet, everyone is like, bring back real divas.
Yeah.
And when we have one, we don't know how to handle it.
Welcome to Pop Syllabus. I'm your host, Christiana in Backway Medina. Divas, we all love them. And we all have strong feelings about which divas make our personal top 3. After I ranked the divas from the 90s to the 2010s with Garrett Kennedy, many of you reached out to tell me how wrong I was. And you know what? You made a compelling case as to why maybe Madonna did innovate more than Janet Jackson. Now, I know the decade isn't over yet, but it's been hotly requested. So today's episode is going to be focusing on ranking our top 3 divas from the 2020s. To do that near impossible task, I'm joined by Ryan Mitchell. Ryan is a journalist, culture critic, and co-host of the podcast High Key. He's also the NFL's first LGBTQ+ brand ambassador. And listen, we don't always agree. I don't want to spoil it too much, but, we get into it a bit. You can watch this episode on Spotify, and if you're subscribed to Spotify Premium, you won't get any Spotify ads on my video. I hope you enjoy the episode, and be sure to tussle with us in the comments, but don't do too much.
Ryan Mitchell. Welcome to Pop Syllabus.
Hi.
Journalist, cultural critic,
Yes.
podcast host of High Key, pop culture connoisseur. I mean, the cultural memory that you have for RuPaul's Drag Race alone, it is immense. I'm so excited to speak to you today.
I love you. Here's the thing. There is no other place I would rather be right now than here. Class is in session.
Class is in
and
session.
I am so ready.
Before we even started rolling, we've been talking about so much. We have so much in common.
Yeah.
Also, he's a church kid. Birthed from the Pentecostal church.
Absolutely.
That's where he earned his stripes and learned everything.
Shout out to Kojic.
Shout out to Kojic. Listen, I am not Kojic, but I am. I was raised by the Clark sisters.
Oh, absolutely. Come on. I mean, and it's actually such a full circle moment. I'm going to give a quick little shout out to one of my best friends, Michael Chin, who was the executive producer and made the Clark sisters movie happen.
Oh, that movie was incredible.
I mean, the blood, sweat, and tears, and just being a Southern church Kojic, it was perfection.
Yes, I know.
Perfection.
I play my kids play Jesus Brought the Sunshine.
Yes.
So I have a bit of and when I think about pageantry and campness and women pulling themselves in certain ways,
yes.
I pull from, of course, my mother being a first lady, but I pull from the Kojic women.
Yeah.
I would love to wear a hat. I want to have a hat moment on the show.
And my thing is, the gag is they try to, get you out of your queerness, but honey, the pageantry is telling me I need to live.
Exactly.
I need to wear these hats.
I was as we were talking about before we came on, I was just we're better to learn how to be camp and to perform and to emote.
They
than
were
the Black
my theater.
Church. I know, the women with the hats and also the hats and the bags and the shoes all match. They all flow.
Yes, and then when you're seeing them run across the aisle because the spirit has moved. Oh, absolutely.
Mind you, in 5-inch heels.
Absolutely.
They're hallelujah.
Absolutely.
They run across. I mean, how can you be forged in that environment and not become us or not become Ryan Mitchell?
I'm it's so interesting. The more that I think about sort of my spiritual journey and my relationship to my youth and growing up in that time, there's something about it that I'm it's never going to leave me.
Yeah.
It's always going to be what shaped me to be this person. And no matter what they were teaching, I'm able to take away so much. And to be honest, even all of my queer friends, we are all so churchy. There was a moment. So the Clark sisters, it was Clark sisters, Kurt Franklin. They were all on a tour. Ty Tribbett were all on a tour. And we got a suite at the crypto arena.
You guys are so fancy.
And
oh my God.
it was 12, 15 of us. We all, Black queer people, all got a seat. We got drinks, we got food, and the intersection of praising the Lord while being tipsy is quite iconic.
I wish I was there.
Oh,
that's my dream.
Around, you
to
will be there.
To have a bit of liquor in me and be silver and gold.
Absolutely.
That's my dream.
Don't
tell my parents.
It was actually revolutionary for me because I've always had a fear of kind of going back to church in a way. I was I don't know what it's going to do and how I'm going to feel, but being in a space where I'm looking to my left and my right of all my favorite queer Black people. Mm-hmm. We are twerking down. We are twerking down to Fred Hammond. And honestly, It feels right.
It feels right.
It felt like this is what it means to have a relationship with a higher power.
Yeah, to that liberation.
Yes.
That freedom to be like, this is who I am.
And
this is how I was
to
made.
be honest, we like the freedom that a lot of like religious folks are seeking. You're missing it. I mean, the queer experience, the trans experience is that freedom.
Yeah, I want you to talk about that because so much of your work is built around specifically talking about the Black queer experience.
Absolutely.
And can you explain the difference? Because you know, we're kind of deeply heteronormative, all of us. We're trying to, even the wokest among us, we're trying to unlearn the heteronormativity.
Yeah.
But you come from, your lens is not just queer, but it's also Black.
Yes. I mean, and it's also fatness, right? Like anytime I'm walking into a room, I'm showing up as all of this full identity of what makes it me. And I think for a long time, it took me to learn the superpowers of that. And then also understand like, that's informing my experience. That's informing all of our experience. Yeah. And being in that space where if we're trying to separate the two, honey, that doesn't happen. That doesn't make any sense to me because I can't fully talk about my experience without bringing everything together. This is a masterpiece.
I'm interested in that because even each of those pieces, the queer piece, the fat piece, the Black piece, people grapple with those things individually. How are you able to have them in like kind of harmony, and what brought you to that place? And what came first? What did you accept first? What was the order?
I think it's so interesting because I always think it's like an ongoing thing. Like I think some moments with my fatness, I talk to my friends about this all the time where I'm like, some moments I'm like, do I want to lose weight? Do I want to see myself in a different way? Do I want to challenge myself? Or in another moment where I'm like, oh no, I live. Like the fact that I'm like as fab as I look, are you kidding me? I'm a Leo. There's no way I'm feeling bad about myself. And so like being able to exist in that and then also walk into a space with my queerness and it be fully accepted. Like the way that I got into this industry and being especially in this cultural space was fully showing up the way that I showed up. There was no like code switching. There was no ability to like be something that someone wanted me to be.
Yeah.
It was always like, okay, we like you. You're different. And I think there's something about Southern culture that like gave me that because Southerners, we do not care.
Well, that's interesting because the trope is that in the Northeast and on the West Coast, everyone is so liberated and evolved and they're so far gone. All the kids are trans and all you know, there's that trope of these coastal elites. But you're saying that being from the South gave you that sense of freedom.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, like I think even growing up in the suburbs in a small town in Laverne, Tennessee, shout out to you. I was always surrounded by like Black people and also like Black queer people. Like my first like gay club experience, 16 sneaking in to play Nashville.
Naughty.
Oh, honey. I mean, I felt like I was grown, but I was like being like sort of taught through a Black trans woman and her cousin who was like my best friend at the time. And they were shaping my like queer experience. They were shaping like what it meant to exist in a space, put on a look, and also like learn how to be a little shady, like learn how to like speak the language. And like, I think that always informed being like, I can walk into any room and honey, if I can handle these girls, I can handle you. Okay.
So you're the NFL's first queer ambassador.
Yes, that's crazy.
Which is like NFL queer. There's a lot to, how did that come about and what does that mean?
So I think it speaks to the superpower of me being able to exist in spaces and like make the most of it, especially in spaces that have historically told me that I shouldn't exist in. Yeah. My entire career has been an example of like being thrown into the deep end and it's like, bitch, you better swim. Like that's literally it. And so it was through some of my work that I do with like a beautiful organization called GLAAD, I was asked to moderate a panel at the Arizona Super Bowl a few years ago. And I remember joking, it was like a C-suite panel with the chief executive officer of like marketing and like some other folks. And I was like, y'all want me to be in this game? I don't know. I don't even know who's playing in this game. So what am I doing? And I said that on the stage. And I think the last question that I asked these executives with all these power is like, we're talking about like queer representation. We're talking about the work that we're doing, the GLAAD's Night of Pride event that is taking on like, you know, that's been a staple event at Super Bowl weekend for queer people to show up and be seen and accepted. This is a great moment, but what are y'all actually going to do outside of this moment? And I asked them that because if you don't know, a little inside baseball is like, you have to get these questions approved.
Yeah.
I went a little rogue, but I said, can you promise this room full of queer and trans people what you're going to do? And they loved that. And like the CMO, Tim Ellis, his team reached out to me and was like, we want to have a meeting with you. And
Okay,
I was like, what y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to give me some brand deal for June? Work, I'll take the coin. And it ended up being, they were like, we are actually trying to talk more to fans. Like we have our regular fans, but who are the people that like don't care about the game just because of football? Like, how can we talk to them authentically?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm a little nervous. This was also around the Dylan Mulvaney, like a Bud Light situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to attach myself publicly to a brand that, one, is low-key getting a 2-for-1 special with me because they had an issue with blackness, and they also have like an issue with queerness. So you kind of getting everything you need from me if I'm deciding to sign on. And they were like, we'll have you this year, this season, we'll have you a part, invite you to games. You can sort of like understand our world. And the next season I came back and was like, I know exactly what I need to do. Okay. And so I created a program called The Exchange. And it was like it's a cultural dinner experience and a game day experience where I team up with a team and I bring together the most like iconic queer and trans folks in that city. And I bring them to a beautifully like set dinner table.
Yeah.
And they get to sit down with NFL like DEI teams and like leadership to actually talk about, these are the people on the ground doing the work. The NFL can't just come into a space, be like, hey, we're here and we're going to tell you how to do this work. Talk to the people that are community partners. They get to do that, and then I get to treat them to like a fancy like NFL experience and field access. Like it's like it was one of my. It's a beautiful thing because I'm nowhere near a fan of like the sports. Like I'm not doing fantasy football. Like that's not my vibe. But I'm a lover of putting people into spaces where we have historically been told we should not exist.
It's important.
I got to see the queer fans that already exist there. And the fact,
of course.
They have so much economic power in that space. They're buying the season tickets. They're buying the merch. Like to get the NFL to really wrap their arms around them and like to be able to talk directly to those fans. And they're like, wait, is it the team that's doing this or it's the league doing this? And I'm like, no, this is like the NFL proper doing this. And it was a beautiful experience to be able to like lead in that work.
So interesting that you've had this experience and you have this strong sense of self in this time where we're in an active backlash to DEI, to blackness, to queerness. I had Dr. Tommy Yama on the show a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the rise of GLP-1s, the death of body positivity, and the increase in weight stigma. Yeah. We're in this moment where not just like the government, but culturally, it's like we're trying to legislate people like yourselves not existing. And
completely erasing us.
Completely erasing. It feels like the gains of the last few years have been lost. I speak to people in my industry who are, whether they're black women, fat folk, queer folk, who are like, work is slow. Like it's been really hard. Yeah. How are you navigating all of that and still having the courage to show up as you?
Sister, it's hard. It's like, let's just put like a TLDR. It's hard because it's not only impacting the way that I show up, but it's also like, this isn't like 2020 where everybody and their mama, low-key, if you were black or queer and all these things, you were making so much money because they're inviting you into these spaces, into these rooms, and they're paying for it. Like, when your identity is sort of attached to also the way that you financially take care of yourself, all of that has completely gone away, essentially. Like, I know so many people who are leaving the city because it's not safe for them anymore. It's not financially sustainable anymore. And it's really hard to see your community have to shift in different ways. But I do think that queer and trans people, especially black and queer and trans people, we are the most resilient folks where this little moment is not shaking us. It's actually making us double down more. Like, it's when I see like the FCC, asking for comment to put a flag on LGBTQ like characters and stories and like on television, I'm like, oh, so that means any way that I can, I'm going to continue to like try to help and make projects happen or help my friends and build a bridge and be a connector to make sure that everyone is having a seat at this table. Like this is our time to really activate. And if it wasn't for my community who we surround each other with love. Honey, I don't know. I don't know where I would necessarily be, but it's a difficult time and we're all literally figuring it out because it sort of feels unheard of. But honestly, our ancestors went through so much worse. And I'm like, if they can make it through some stuff, honey, we can too.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that whenever we have these conversations, we always look at like the queer community, what the queer community is doing for each other. For those of us who like to think of ourselves as allies or want to be allies, what does showing up look like?
Yeah.
What does it look like practically? And I mean beyond like, you know, if there's a job, you know, who you recommend. It's like, what does showing up look like in this moment? Because I have been taken aback by some of the kind of naked homophobia that I'm seeing. Yeah. I've had to pull a few people I know up personally and be like, hey, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
Is that sufficient? I don't know. But like, what can allies do?
I actually think that is sufficient because there's some, and I don't know who like sort of coined this, but like we sort of have done away with like the term allyship because we want accomplices. We want people like, it's like.
Okay, so allies are done.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still there.
I don't mind being a co-conspirator.
You know, yes, a co-conspirator.
I'm trying to be a co-conspirator in the alliance.
There's something about an ally that's like, I see you.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, but I'm also not in it.
Okay.
An accomplice or a co-conspirator is someone who is like also front lines with you.
And is it beside or behind? Because sometimes it can be erasure, right?
But it also can be in front where it's like, I can't speak up in the way that you can use your privilege to speak up in.
We need that person. Because I've been in situations work-wise where I'm always like, and I think this is what Black women do. We got big mouths. Always a sacrificial lamb. Always be the one to say, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't say that. Like I've worked in different places where it's always come down to me or a few other Black women. And after a while, that gets really tiresome. Yeah. You know, like taking the blows of that, just the psychological toll of having to be the voice of reason or be the one that's upholding the code that you hope everyone lives by.
Absolutely.
So it's always affirming when someone else is with more privilege is able to take that space and say, you know what? Because, you know, people will listen to you.
Yeah, and it's also like, and I'm going to say this. If you don't have the range, I don't need you being no type of ally for me, sister.
Co-conspirator.
I don't need a co-conspirator. I don't need it. If you don't have the range to actually check yourself inside and understand like some of your own biases and didn't be able to like hold space for others in that way, like, honey, I don't need everybody jumping into things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's important to know what we're all good at, and it's important to know when to engage and to disengage. Like, as someone as like a cultural like critic and a commentary like someone that provides commentary, I know I don't want to be involved in every conversation. If I'm not adding into it in a meaningful way, there's other people out there that I'm going to help amplify.
Or I'm going to be like, hey, I'll direct you to this person's page.
Absolutely.
Like, go over here.
Yes.
This is the person.
Because I'm not the expert of everything. And I just remember feeling like that. I had my own radio show on the first LGBTQ talk music radio station called Channel Q. And I had an afternoon drive show. It was my first time ever in radio. And 2020 hit like a box of bricks. And I remember I was the only Black person on air, and everybody and their mama had all the questions, and the emotional toll that took in real time. I think it really, I had never experienced anything like that. And I was just like, why am I being tasked with doing the Channel Q statement over the airwaves? Like, that doesn't make sense to me just because I'm the only Black person here. And like, I'm happy to step in. And I think that was, you know, I was fearful of being out in the streets because of COVID and being, you know, like, I was like, this is my way of doing the work. But after a while, it was like, sister, I was like, I can't speak for this entire community. I cannot. But I will make sure that I'm highlighting and bringing on the folks that can also like help hold this moment up and talk about the importance of it.
What I'm excited about to jump off that is the pop syllabus audience, you probably know this, are very diverse.
Oh,
it's
yes,
very
they
diverse,
are.
Very diverse, very inclusive, politically all over the map. Yeah, right?
Honestly, that's how it is over in the Drag Race.
Yeah, which I kind of love. Like, it's independents, conservatives, super progressive. I got Trotsky over here, and I got like a libertarian, kind of Thatcher Reagan over here, right? And the thing that fuses us together is pop culture, right? And I think there's a base level of kindness within the pop syllabus community that I really enjoy. Like, even when they disagree with me and they're checking me, they're like, and you know, we had this moment where it was like, and I hate it when people are like, working has got too far. But I think we actually didn't get far enough. I really disagree with that.
We still got so much to go.
We got so much to go.
Yeah.
But what I love about what perhaps is coming is that there are these communities like your community and the pop syllabus community, which is like, hey, maybe politically we don't vote the same way. And but we see each other.
Yeah.
We get that we have work to do and we're finding ways to talk to each other about these thorny things and we're learning the language. We're all learning the language, right? And so like we clash, but we are learning the language to speak to each other and imagine different futures and figuring out our places in that future.
Can I say that's also why I love social experiment, like competition shows?
Yeah.
Like I love Big Brother, I love Love Island. Like, I mean, that's all inherently a part of that. Like you're literally watching all these people sort of come together and like react in real time, and you're seeing how all these differences work. I mean, I think that's essentially why being a Southerner, a Black Southerner specifically, is like a superpower.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Because I navigated being called the N-word in third grade. Like I navigated like having white friends and like, you know, Latino friends and like all of these like the diverse groups that were all together, and I had to navigate. Like I had to become sort of like a chameleon in these spaces, and while also remembering who I am,
yeah, without losing yourself.
Period.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's such a powerful thing when we actually get to see it. And I think honestly, the pop syllabus crowd is like that because it speaks to like what you're bringing to the table.
I'm trying.
I mean, you're eating.
I'm trying.
Are you full yet? You're eating.
No, I'm trying. I think that we have like a long ways to go, but that is my favorite thing about the audience. That everyone is from everywhere. Would we be friends in real life? Maybe not, but we all love pop culture.
Absolutely.
And we're like, let's dig into this.
Oh, there was nothing like
you know what I mean?
Culture is just brilliant. It literally is like it's what birth like has like allowed me to be able to see myself so many times.
Do you know how many times I've had to find out that my favorite housewives is a Trumper?
Oh.
And I sit with that and been like, okay, now what does this mean?
I mean, shout out to Mary Crosby. Because I'm like,
problematic. I love her.
How do you get an expose done of you, a documentary done of you, and you still come out all like...
You could never make me hate her.
It was in one ear, out the other. I was like, sister, I don't care.
Because she's complex.
Yes.
And it's a lot going on, but you see her and you see her humanity, even though you're like, oh, Mary, should you say that?
Yes.
But you're just like, oh, this is the human experience. Yeah. It's not simple. People aren't all good. They're not all bad. People can be good people with bad politics.
Yes.
Bad politics.
Yeah.
Good politics, but bad people.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you know how to analyze Love Island and Drag Race and all these shows on a deeper level is why I brought you here today.
Okay.
For the people at home, we're going to do the 2020s Divas ranking episode. Our friend Ryan Mitchell is here to help us.
You did not bring me in for this.
I know.
You chose violence.
I know I did. And like poor Garrett Kennedy, his mentions are still popping because you guys are like going in about our other divas. But okay, for the people at home that haven't listened to the other divas episode, and Ryan, for some recall for you, I'm going to go through the definition of a diva and then my personal definition, and then we can do this list. And then I'm going to explain how I've made this 2020s list.
Okay.
And you have to rank a top 3 across all these names.
Oh, that ain't no problem.
There are a lot of names here.
There is a lot of names here, but that's still no problem for me. Ooh, you're asleep. Oh, you ate that. The sleeper divas. Oh my God. Okay.
Wait, we're going to eat good today, Pop Syllabus fan. Okay. So I used the book Diva, Feminism and Fierceness from Pop to Hip Hop.
Okay.
And they talk about in 2001, Linda Lister sought to delineate 3 types of divas. So you have your prima divas, which kind of goes back to the operatic prima donna. And this is someone with exceptional vocal ability. So we think Barbra Streisand as an example, right?
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand, Mariah Carey, is the voice, right? And then you have what she calls the late 20th century innovators. Madonna, as an example. I would also say Janet Jackson.
Absolutely.
Innovation.
Queen.
And then the third category, which you have, is like kind of the singer, songwriter, artist. And that you'd say like a Alanis Morissette or a Norah Jones, who kind of does all the thick Alicia Keys.
Yes.
That mode of diva. And they even say in this book that the definition and the use of the term diva remains unsettled, right? And that there can be different definitions from different people. And then we have to acknowledge it. So calling someone a diva, we acknowledge their unique stardom, but it can also be kind of a slight and a warning. Like it can be used as an insult.
True.
But we are not using it in a pejorative sense.
This is like a celebration.
Yeah. We're not talking about diva like
Yeah.
behavior, we're talking about them being an apex. And then I talk about my thinking around it. And my first thing is, to meet the definition of a diva, the woman has had to have a significant place in queer culture and identity politics.
Work.
So if you are not the reason why some queer boy did not kill himself, you are not a diva.
Honestly, dead ass. That is so
that's
good.
how I
That's
feel.
a
I
great...
think queerness and diva, it comes together.
Yes.
That place in queer culture. Then I also say it involves a deification of a woman to a godlike status and her inevitable dehumanization. So to be a diva involves tragedy, rebellion, and high stakes, and sometimes it's all three. Okay?
Yes.
I think divas often have a transcendent beauty or distinct look that pulls people in. And it's a kind of this aspirational gender performance and version of womanhood. So I'd say Britney Spears is like her face.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about how beautiful. Beyonce, there's something to the beauty.
Yes.
Or you can have a face like a Madonna, which is very unique, that you can't help but look at. Of course, I'd say a diva has a talent, but at the center of that talent is some sort of patriarchal control or system that attempts to dominate the diva. So we're talking Taylor Swift getting back her masters, Mariah leaving Tommy Mottola, Tina Turner and Ike, Britney and the conservatorship. I was going to say Beyonce and Matthew. Did I say that loud?
But
there is
honestly,
a literal patriarch, but sometimes it can be a patriarchal system, but there is this tussle for power that is a really pivotal part in that diva's journey.
Yeah.
And she has to make the decision whether to be subversive or align with the status quo. And finally, my definition of a diva, I think all great divas possess a fundamental contradiction. So Whitney Houston is the church girl who had this drug addiction. Mariah Carey kind of plays a bimbo. Oh my God, my little lambs. But she is super hyper intelligent.
Yeah.
And so like, I think if there is none of that, Taylor Swift, a billionaire, but girl next door is the thing she says to give. But it needs...
mediocre? Anyway.
I didn't say Swifties, please. Ryan, you started. Please. Be cool. As my mom will say.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me like
got my native.
Point. I can explain why I say that, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. And so this is what myself and Garrick, this is what the Pop Syllabus fam, this is our matrix for a definition.
This is great.
Of diva. And so I want to ground it in that. And for the people at home, ground it in that. And we are talking about the 2020s. And we understand the 2020s are not over. They are not over.
But I've never been made for something more than I've been made for this
You were
moment.
born for it. For such a time of this, you were born for it, okay?
And I'm honestly shocked that there's no Lady Gaga on here.
Okay, can I explain my thinking?
Okay.
Can I explain my thinking? So, and we have a technicality section and we can put Lady Gaga in technicalities.
Okay.
So when we did the last episode, a diva can only be ranked in one decade. Because let's be real, Madonna had a great moment in the 2000s.
Okay.
But we put her in the 90s.
Okay.
Right? So, because otherwise, then you get divas that are just being ranked every single decade.
Yeah.
So when we did our 90s list, we had so many names. We had Faith Evans, Toni Braxton, Mary J. Blige, but they could only be in the 90s. Even though Mary J. had a great era in the 2000s, I placed her in the 90s.
Did you do 2010s?
We did do 2010s. So Gaga was in 2010s.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
This is our 2020s. But I have technicalities here, and I'm going to get into the technicalities stuff that kind of breaks the rules a bit, bends the rules, but we're just going to go through my categories, right? So for the 2020s, we have general pop, which is just like general population, okay? General pop, like in a jail. These are the divas that we've all thrown in there. Then we have technicalities. And in our technicalities section, we have people that we've discussed on the show previously. Technically, there's a case that they may not be in the 2020s. We can make the case. For instance, I have Rihanna, because her absence is as important as her presence. Even though she has not done anything but have babies, which is work, I get it. I had all my babies in the 2020s, but she has not given us the baby that people want.
Yeah.
Which is R10.
People are still asking for it.
But I think to discuss the 2020s without talking about Rihanna, it would be really hard for me. Even though she hasn't. Again, Ryan, you can throw this out the window.
And this is musically.
I know we can throw it away. Mind you, up for debate, we can throw this away. We're just going to have to rank our top 3 out of our general population, our technicalities, and our sleeper divas. Okay? Let me go through Gen Pop for 2020s divas. We got Rose, our K-pop queen.
Cute.
Dua Lipa, Sabrina Carpenter, SZA, Kehlani, Cardi B, Ariana Grande, who kind of belongs in technicalities, but it's fine. Olivia Rodrigo, Olivia Dean, Summer Walker, Ray, Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, Rosalia, Tyler, Doechii, I ate, didn't I? Doja Cat,
Crazy.
Meg Thee Stallion, Charli XCX, Thames, Tate McRae.
Y'all ate with that one, no shade. Y'all ate bringing up Tate McRae in this conversation. Y'all ate with
I
that.
ate, right?
Y'all ate with that.
And Lana Del Rey. Okay? That's in our Gen Pop.
Wait, what about Selena?
Selena Gomez.
I just say, and I call her Slaying a God man.
Our rare beauty is in there. Okay, so now we have our technicalities section. Technicalities are divas who we have spoken about in previous Divas episodes. When I've written about divas, I've ranked them in other places, but I think to not have the conversation about them in the 2020s would be ludicrous, even though we've already ranked Beyoncé number 1 in the 2010s. So in our technicalities, we have Taylor Swift, we have Beyoncé, we have Adele, we have Rihanna, even though she's released no music. I think her absence is as important as her presence. Mm-hmm. We have Nicki Minaj.
Yikes.
We have Miley Cyrus. And then we're going to put in Lady Gaga because, you know,
that feels right.
Ryan Mitchell over here.
That feels right. Like literally, and I have a case.
Okay. All right. Then our sleeper divas for the 2020s, which is a big list, but you know, I want you guys to see. I want to know what you think. We have Yebba.
Love her.
Take me off to the distance.
Yes.
Okay, we have Yebba. We have Alicia Cara. Mm-hmm. We have Cleo Sol. We have her. Mm-hmm. We have Lizzo. We have Glorilla. We have Muni Long. We have Jasmine Sullivan. We have Ella May. We have Victoria Monet. We have Janae Aiko. We have Latto. We have Chloe Bailey. Ari Lennox. We have Syd. We have Tiwa Savage. We have PinkPantheress. And we have Gracie Abrams for our 2020 Sleeper Divas. This is the only ranking. This is the only rule. You have to rank 3. You can take them from any category. You can take them from Gen Pop, Technicality to Sleeper Divas. I will rank my top 3. You will rank your top 3.
Okay.
We go start from 3. We go all the way up.
One from each.
We have no. It doesn't need.
I can just pick
your
out of
3. Your 3 could all come from Gen Pop.
Okay.
They could all come from Technicalities. I personally am going to erase the Technicalities because it makes it more fun for me because I've already discussed these Technicalities on the show. But you can choose to put a Technicalities in your top 20s. I will say that, you know, the one thing that we are missing, I don't think we have Zara Larsson here. Who I will put in Gen Pop. And that was because we discussed her on the show before. But I think...
And low-key, she could have been in Sleeper Divas.
So do you want to put her in Sleeper?
I feel like she could be in Sleeper Divas because she's had such... Like, people have slept on her for so long. Like, I've been a fan of her since 2016.
Yeah.
Like, she has been around for a very long time.
Her and MNEK make great work together.
They are like musical soulmates.
Yeah,
like, literally love them. And so it's just... Yeah, she's a sleeper for me.
Okay, so we can put her in Sleeper. I think with this moment she's having when she gets the fan to do that dance on stage.
Yeah.
I think she's more than Sleeper, but I will put her in Sleeper at your request.
Now, are we also adding in criteria around... Like, I know you said it's not about like an attitude.
Yeah.
But I also think that's also...
Okay, we can add that, yeah.
Attitude is also a part of the reason why, like, queer people love a diva.
Okay, yeah, we'll put that under there. Attitude.
I like attitude.
Okay, I want you to rank your top 3. Ooh. You're a guest, so you go first.
This is crazy. Oh, my
Don't be
God.
scared. They're just going to jump you in the comments.
No, and here's the thing. I don't even care. But let me tell you this now. None of the new girls are going to probably be on my list.
Ooh.
I have to.
Ooh. So you mean none of the Sleeper Divas?
Not yet. I don't think. No. And I have a reason why. Like, I think Sleeper Divas also inherently says they are on a journey. Like, they have made a significant presence that their work literally can live on its own and speak for itself.
Yeah. But
they're not just there yet, in my opinion.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe at some point, but they're not there yet. Okay. I'm going to start with, though. Mm-hmm. Ooh, this is kind of hard.
And just not to push back, but I was going to say, but like Tiwa Savage made a genre. Not made a genre, but like,
that's true.
When no Tiwa Savage, it's kind of like no.
There's no Tyla. There's no
Thames.
Yeah, there's no Thames.
Let's give her her things.
You ate that. Yeah.
Because people reference Rihanna a lot with Tyla, and obviously Tyla also has this thing with Arya Starr and all of that. Arya Starr could perhaps go in Sleeper Divas, but I don't know. But I think
Tyla's someone that I love because of her attitude.
Yeah, I love it.
I think she is just someone that the girls just can't take because she knows
who she is,
and I love that.
Yeah, I love Tyla.
Exactly what we have been begging for before. So many times on the internet, everyone is like, bring back real divas.
Yeah.
And when we have one, we don't know how to handle it.
Yeah,
and she is someone that is like, come into this space, especially like the way that they were trying to like market her in like the American sort of like way. People just could not take it. They didn't understand. They wanted to have the historical knowledge of what it meant to be like identify as a colored person.
Yeah.
And that's just such a nuanced situation. Of course, they were trying to market her to Black audiences. But sister, like, you have to understand that historical context. And also, like, she's a bad bitch that also just makes really great music.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a good time.
Don't lie. Come on, she's actually Shakira's daughter. She is Shakira's daughter.
She is Shakira's daughter. I will give you that. I think she is Shakira's daughter. I think she pulls from a lot of places.
Yeah.
I think she pulls from Rihanna. I think she pulls from Shakira. I think she pulls from her contemporaries. I'm not going to get into any of that, but you know, her and Arya Starr. But I like it because I like rivalry.
No. And that's honestly,
I love it when the girls are fighting.
That's a part of a diva story.
That dialectic shit going on, and then they improve. Like we need that. So I'm not the V's like, can all women get along? Sometimes they don't get along, and it's good for the women. But you know, you go.
I have my first.
So you're number 3.
My number 3.
We're going 3, 2, 1.
Okay. My number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 3 is Ariana Grande.
What?
Yes.
Which album? Is it Sweetener?
No, it's not. I Thank You Next was such a huge,
brilliant, yeah.
Such a huge moment because one, she was going through so much during that time personally. She's talked about her relationship to her body, to the loss of Mac Miller, to that unfortunate bombing that happened in Manchester.
I mean, her life is just insane.
Everything changed. And I think to describe, and I hate to say this, but to also put in a diva's sort of criteria is something devastating must happen to also jumpstart the rest of their legendary career. Like it starts their legacy. Sure. It like locks it in a real way.
Well, she was like a phoenix.
Absolutely.
At that moment.
She at first, like, you know, of course she was like this cute theater Nickelodeon girl that was making some hits. There was obviously conversations of her voice, like she's being the next Mariah.
Great voice.
And there was all that there, but it was never really solidified until sort of we had this moment where she had that fundraiser for after the bombing happened, and she just showed up in that sweater and was able to perform, and her high pony became actually like a legacy moment.
Yeah.
Like that.
I used to call her ponytail.
Yeah, well, yes. Yes. And for me, I think Ariana Grande has done the most. She has changed the most for me in the way that she shows up in the world. Her music, I've always been such a huge fan of. I mean, Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite albums of the past. It's the way that she is able to not only write her music, but produce her music. She has completely taken complete control of her. And honestly, she's a prime example of like what it means to go through the Nickelodeon Disney Channel's like systems and come out on top. In a real way, because a lot of people do not.
Okay.
They get lost.
Okay, so I love Ariana. I love her down. Okay, so I want to preface what I'm going to say with all that. I agree. She meets the criteria of every. Like,
absolutely.
She is.
Absolutely.
You know, also she's got the voice and she can also got a great pen.
And I just want to quickly say before you say.
Yeah, go for it.
In that episode with Garrick, because I did my homework.
Yeah.
You said something about appropriation, being able to, it's a talent to appropriate
that's where I'm going.
She has had eras where she has appropriated well.
So we can talk about the Black Yana era.
Come on.
Which I think...
Patti LaBelle said that's my favorite little black white girl.
But I think it was very... and this is where we get into muses or appropriation, whatever you want to call it. What is Ariana without Victoria Monet in that
But
era?
She's also acknowledged that.
But do the people know that?
I think that's the reason why.
Because people say that about Janet and Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
That was all in my comments. And they did it. And I'm okay, I'll give you that. But this is what I think. I think she's still like an artist.
Yeah.
Which is a very important thing to do. When you say come out on top, I think she's got an incredible career. I worry for Ariana. If I'm frank with you, she is someone that I worry, because I love that girl. Like, people know I am such a fan. I play Sweetener live all the time, right? I worry for her.
Yeah.
I look at her and I'm concerned. I don't know what's happening. I can't say what's happening. I don't think it's fair to speculate about what's happening, but I am so scared. And so when you say come out on top, to me, she feels like a casualty of that system. She has the career in the same way that Britney has the career, has the accolades, has the money. But you're just like, what it's taken from these women, those systems, these patriarchal structures, to me, the cost seems too high.
I think, and we're hearing her talk about that more in her recent single, Hate That I Love You. And I think she is someone that has given herself, I think she's in a place right now specifically. I understand all the concerns that when people see her, they feel that. But for me, I think I see someone who, yes, there is a conversation to be had around maybe external looks. But I think seeing her getting back into acting and sort of taking the reins on her career and like hearing the way that she expresses herself through this like new age of music. I always say like Glenda did a number on her, but in the best possible way. It sort of refined her in a way that I genuinely really appreciate. I think she has a clear understanding of like, yes, I have lost so much in the system, but now it's my time to be in the driver's seat.
I mean, she wants it.
Yes.
She wants it.
And I think that's something to be said. And I think it's not helpful when you have millions of eyeballs on you critiquing every single piece of your body, the way that you show up. I got, at the GLAAD Media Awards this year, I got to speak to Ariana Grande's mom. And I actually asked her, I said, how do you feel about the way people, and this was just like how do you feel about the way that people talk about your kids, because it seems like they're having such a moment. She was like, you know what? No one ever asked me that. Thank you for saying that. And she's like, I really sometimes want to get on a mic and say something, but I know personally that they're living and they're doing and accomplishing every single thing that they have wanted to accomplish. And that for me made me understand Ariana is exactly where she wants to be.
And for that reason, I think then we have to be able to have those questions and conversations about the body, because this is a body that is on show and highly influential. And I'm telling you, because my TikTok algorithm right now feels like deep Tumblr.
And I hate, but that's the thing. I hate that there is such a commentary around her body when we don't know. It just reminds me of the Chadwick Boseman.
But he was sick. Exactly. He was dying.
But we don't know anything.
Well, then,
we don't need, and we also are not old in explanation.
But Chadwick's a great example because he was dying.
They did it for Brandy just a few weeks ago.
But when people say this person, it's worrying. People were correct about Chadwick. He was dying.
Yeah, I think that's a rare example, but I just don't think it's fair. But talking about someone's body and no matter, yes, I think Ariana has been quite clear about the ways that she has changed her body to make herself feel happier, whether it's either talking about it or we can actually visually see it. And yes, there are some conversations that I think should be had, but sometimes I feel like the internet and internet culture is just about pointing things out, but never really having nuanced conversations.
I agree. Now,
around it. And they're just piling on.
But I think that, and this is, it's not even the price of fame. And I say this to friends who are very, very famous.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get the spoils of fame.
Yeah.
Which is the money, the private plane. That comes with a responsibility.
Yeah.
You cannot divide those two things.
Yeah.
You cannot say I get all the spoils and the access and the accolades, and I do not take on any of that responsibility. And I've had this conversation in the context of social justice issues, right? Of saying, hey, this is happening in the world. I'm not saying that you must, but I want you to be cognizant of what your silence means.
Yes.
Which is fine. If you can live with that, that's your code, right? And so also our visual decisions have an impact, right? They do, whether people like it or not, and especially in this era. And I think it's one thing for a statement to be made about hey, this person is dealing with whatever. Not that we're not entitled to. I don't want your medical.
She has talked publicly.
I don't want your medical records.
She's tried to stop the fans from
she
talking
said, I'm
about
the healthiest I've ever felt, right? Which is I don't know. I just being familiar with that world and that language and what's being communicated. I think it's I don't know if it's a parental advisory. And I say this, I come from this position of in all the work I've done around EDs and Ozempic culture, keep coming back to the fact that pediatric admissions for eating disorders are at the highest they've ever been, right? And so this is a public health issue that goes far beyond these avatars of famous people and what they look like. Yeah. This is just inter-community work. At the same time, I don't think we should scrutinize people's bodies. I don't think we should be cruel about people's bodies, critique them. How can we use as much neutral language as possible and the correct language? But I'm not of the view that it's completely hands-off, especially when somebody seems to be withering away before our eyes. And when people say, well, what about Chadwick? I'm like, yeah, Chadwick was dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, so yeah. If somebody resembles someone who is dying, it's okay for the public to have questions. And mind you, this is just life. If you show up, like, you know, Black people always got something to say about how you show up. And
Absolutely. It's very Black of us to be.
It's very Black of us.
It's very like, see your baby out in the winter, be like, put some shit, put a coat on that baby.
Or I've seen aunties and be like, hey, who's gonna do that girl's hair?
Yeah.
Someone, you know, but you know, and so I know there's lines, and I deeply feel for her because she has been through so much, but then I do worry. Yeah. And then I'm also like, again, as a cultural commentator and critic, I'm just like, I don't want to be part of the pylon, right? So I very rarely try and say names, but then when somebody comes up, it's hard.
No, it is. It's a balance, and it's one of those things where it's like, I often sit at this, like, how much are we scrutinizing women, specifically like our divas in these moments, right? Like, because we never bat an eye when, you know, Channing Tatum talks about he's lost all this weight.
I do. I talk about the men.
No, for sure. I mean,
because the men's have EDs.
Have analysis. We should. Like, the men most definitely have EDs.
Marvel is an ED capital for men.
Yes.
You go in a Marvel movie, they get ripped, they don't eat, they're like clearly on steroids. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. And it's just, for me, it's Ariana talks about things through her music in a way that when she's ready to talk about her life experiences, that's when she does. And I think that's what an artist should be doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, talking about what you're going on in your life should happen in the art that you're making.
Yeah.
And for me, that is way more important than her coming out in a statement talking about this potential, you know, rumors of all these things that are happening with her body just because we're viewing it. Like, that for me is just, I want to hear from her and not just hear from countless people on the internet that are a part of Stan Wars, that are like defending their faves and like using that as a like weaponizing it to defend their faves.
Yeah, it's a cudgel. And that's what I don't like about it.
Okay.
Well, could do a whole different episode on Stan
Wars.
But I think, I agree.
But for me, Ariana, I think because of the way she has grown, because of her whole entire, like, the criteria that she fits in this moment, I think she has proven herself to be a diva of the 2020s.
Okay. Should I tell you my number 3?
I would love to know your number 3. I was starting off spicy.
I don't think my number 3 is that controversial.
Okay.
My number 3 is Billie Eilish. For the 2020s.
Come on, appropriation of stud culture.
We have the appropriation of stud culture. We have the gender fluidity.
Yes.
Without.
Yes.
I mean, she says she's bisexual, but she always has boyfriends. So
but isn't that every bisexual?
Yeah. So whatever.
It's like
on both sides.
But I love Billie Eilish. Tell me more about that.
So the reason I say Billie Eilish, I think that her and her brother are this incredible production duo, songwriting duo. I think they're going to go down and to me, I put them like an Aaliyah and Timbaland, a Brandy and Darkchild, like a Jimmy Jam and Janet Jackson, just when an artist and a producer just have this fit and they get each other.
Musical soulmates. I think Billie is a very rare pop star that, for reasons of her own, has decided to shield her body. Yeah.
And I remember when she did that Vogue cover where she had a lot of cleavage out. A lot of people, I was just like, okay, what's happening? Are we having the turn here?
Yeah.
Is this going to be the moment where it's just like bikinis and short skirts and heels? And
has she fallen into, unfortunately,
the system? And she kind of went the other way. And she was just like, she talks about love and romance and sensuality, and the music is somewhat erotic, but her presentation is very desexualized. And I think that contradiction is very interesting to look at. I think she's crunchy and spiky, like there's kind of a darkness under there.
Yeah.
But I think what was I Made For, the song she did for the Barbie soundtrack, I believe that will go down as one of the best songs of the decade.
Absolutely.
Like, just incredible songwriting, the existential questions. I think songs like Birds of a Feather are songs that get played at like baby showers and funerals and weddings. She's got this music that is very resonant. And I think when we look back and they make music about the 2020s, they make movies about the 2020s, 30 years from now, you will hear Billie Eilish songs in the background.
I mean,
because it pulls you back to a time.
No, it does. Like that's such a great first pick because she does sort of, when I think about 2020s, I think of her.
Yeah.
I think of how explosive her career was. I think she was one of the first artists of sort of this time that her career just jumped into massive popularity. She was everywhere.
Stadiums.
There was a machine, a media.
Yeah.
I remember one year being like, when I was working in radio, seeing her like 3 times in a row. I was like, why is she performing this much?
She's everywhere.
Is the baby tired? But like hearing a song like Ocean Eyes.
Yeah.
Like there's a quality to her voice that is just so soft, and that contradiction to how
Beautiful.
she presents.
It's great storytelling.
Oh,
she
my
tells a story
goodness.
so well, and she also is good at the internet. I think about that Coachella moment she had with Justin Bieber this year, which was very cute, and people were crying.
Yeah.
But I think that she is somebody that has grown up on the internet, is very much a Gen Z star, but then has this kind of old Hollywood thing to her. And it's not in the way she dresses. I think it's the mystique.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because she's from LA. She knows how to play that part of, like, she grew up in here.
Yeah.
So she knows, so she's been swimming in the water all the time. And I think Billie is very important. And I think Billie is one of the few people that I've mentioned across this list that I can't think of her comp.
That's a good...
I can't think, like, for instance, I can go Ray, LMA, Cleo Sol, Olivia Dean, light-skinned Black British mixed-race girls who make it in America. Like, they're all in, like, a kind of, like...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that Victoria Monet is in the tradition of a Beyonce. Right? You know, like, we can talk about these girls that are in a lineage.
Yeah.
Billie, to me, feels very distinct. I can't really think of her contemporaries. And that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to sort of think of contemporaries, like Billie and Charli sort of.
But they do very different things.
Very different things.
Charli's like, I'm doing coke, babe. I'm Brat. We doing
also
coke.
like, you never know. Billie might be doing coke, but she's just not talking about it.
Yeah, but like Charli's whole thing is like, I'm bringing back that
I'm smoking a cig at 3 a.m.
I have sex.
Yes.
I do drugs. I have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and
I mean, comp-wise, it's like, as far as like how they rose to fame, her and Chappell Roan. Yeah, I think Chappell had I think
they're kind of spiritual siblings in that sense, in terms of it being like, you weren't there and all of a sudden I look and you're everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think Billie is also, she has not leaned into the celebrity of it all.
Yeah.
But she's still known.
Yeah.
She is really well known.
I think she's all about rejecting what society has sort of put on her. And that is a part of this, how she shows up as a world-renowned celebrity.
Also the voice.
She's like, I'm rejecting all of that.
Also, I love her voice.
Yes.
Like, she's one of the few people that, like, she reminds me of that VH1 era of like Behind the Music.
Yeah.
Behind the Music video where they'd show this BTS stuff of her doing an acoustic version of the song, and then she'll have a score and she'll be like, oh, we decided to do this note and that note. And so she's like a real music girl. And I think that there is a generation of people who want to listen to real music.
For sure. And I think there's a lot of people that, and I love when, that's the special thing about the Grammys where like you see someone like her like get all of these awards, and it's also introducing her to a mainstream. I remember the first time she was introduced to like Black Twitter, and after like winning an award over Beyonce, and everyone was like, now who is this little white girl? But then when she actually sang, they were like, oh, that's this little white girl.
Now we get it. And she's one of the ones that can she can sing down.
Yes, the mic is always on.
I just ooh. And I think she has, when she comes into her womanhood, I'm so curious about when she hits 30, like that era of her career when it's just like she knows herself even more. She's lived a bit more. She's sitting more in her gift. And so I think Billie had to be in my top 3 for the 2020s.
Billie's a good
She's
one.
A good one. Because I feel she's one of one. Like all these other girls, I can pair them with somebody, right? I can say, oh, you do this and that person does this. But Billie just feels very sui generis to me. And I could be wrong. I'm sure there's people at home shouting like,
no, but I think you're actually really right. I think you're really right. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. This is actually really difficult. People at home, this is hard, isn't it? This is a hard situation.
Like, because I feel like depending where I am on my cycle, I could pick someone different.
No, literally. Like I'm going to walk out of here and be like, now why did I pick her?
Because I'm already battling. I have battles around my 2. But okay, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I don't even know if I know my 2. To do this on the spot is crazy.
I know. That's what we want it to be visceral over here.
My number 2 See, and this is also another thing where I'm like, okay, I put one white girl on here. Do I want to have all my threes be no.
You're like the DEI.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I'm this DEI consultant. I got this problematic ass list. Well, Ariana is also Blackiana.
Yeah, so it kind of like works. Let's go with Chappell Roan.
Oh,
I really want to go with Chappell Roan.
Oh my God.
And I'm sorry. She's the first moment where I was like, when people were saying bring back divas, I was like, we have Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan is here and alive.
Tell me more about Chappell Roan.
Chappell Roan is someone that, of course, had an immediate rise to fame, but also immediately like understood how she was going to navigate this fame. How she was
She looks like she hates it.
And that's what I love. That's what I love, because my thing is, it's not that she hates it. I think people are like easily interpreting in that way, but it's like, I am going to make sure I don't get eaten up by this system that has done so many things to the people that I have like looked up to and have like, who have been like my divas. And I think the way that Chappell Roan will forever speak up for herself, and the fact that that turns so many people off is diva behavior.
Yeah, it's very Madonna of her.
It's very Madonna of her. It's very like, I mean, it's a little Courtney Love.
yes, she's got some Courtney Love in her.
There's a little bit of like
the self-destructive.
And I think it's something to be said around like Gen Z and this culture of like Gen Z just pushing back on things that like millennials historically have kind of let go. And it's like, you need to like work to get to these things. And you need to like allow people to walk all over you, blah, blah, blah. And then like Gen Z is like, no, actually, I'm going to get off at 5. Actually, I'm not going to have you yell at me on this red carpet. I'm not going to have you talk to me in any type of way. And I think that is on top of the music and on top of the voice and on top of her like speaking up in moments on the Grammy stage where she is talking about singer-songwriters. I was like, when I was trying to work towards this moment, I couldn't even take care of myself. I didn't have health insurance. I didn't have all the things that I necessarily need. We need to be paid for these moments. That is someone who stands for something.
Yeah.
And for me...
And she talks about Palestine.
Yes. Yes. And yes, I think there's something to be said about like, yes, she's young and youthful, and the way that she had that moment with that soccer player.
Oh, which was, I couldn't even make head or tail.
Wrong.
What was
wrong
happening?
The entire
time. Did
she
take the picture? Did she not take the picture? Was it a security guard? It was a mess. But you know what? And this is why I like her. She's always a mess. I love a girl that is always
boring. She's not boring. And she also knows how to do the internet really well. She actually, I mean, no shade. You have Olivia Rodrigo is on here somewhere. Like she is the reason she wrote a lot of Olivia Rodrigo's hits. They work together. And so no shade. We have Olivia because of Chappell. And Chappell, it has such a distinct voice. She is, if we're talking comps, maybe she is like also like the daughter of Lady Gaga in a lot of ways.
I think there's a Lady Gaga connection. I think there's a Madonna connection. Yes. In the drag of it all, I think that there is Kylie Minogue.
Oh.
Because it's drag.
What a great reference.
Listen.
What a great reference.
Give me my things.
I'm sitting at a table with taste. This is a table with taste.
Because Chappell does a lot of drag, right?
Yes.
And
she made sure to incorporate that.
It's like a showgirl. If you ever go to a Kylie show, if you listen to her records, it's just like, it's pride.
And she wasn't just using it as a moment, like drag culture as a moment to like when she became mainstream to then like put a spotlight on.
No, that's what she is.
No shade to like Sabrina, like when she had her, VMAs moment, like, that's when the queens were all out there, but Chappell had been doing that when she was growing in the ranks, and she has
she's queer as well,
yes,
right?
And she has a love for the culture in a real way, and I think she's just someone that has done it very, very well. And as a pop girly myself, I am just forever going to be a fan of hers, and I think to be at the center of conversation and have it divided is what makes
does make it to be. And I think she has that contradiction.
Yes, the contradiction.
Because I think as much as she hates celebrity and fame, she kind of wants it.
Oh, of course.
If they stopped looking, she'd be pissed off.
Why would you not be doing this work? Like, yes, but I've always been conflicted around when everyone has like commentary around, well, you're a celebrity. You open yourself up for like, if people are going to come up to you, all these things. And I'm like, yes, they are. But also we celebrate them because of their art. We put them on pedestals because of their art. I don't need to always talk to them when I see them or I disrespect their boundaries. They're still humans.
It's the dehumanization. Yes. I talk about that a lot. The ritual dehumanization we have of celebrities, but it's because they're divas, we deify them. Yeah. So if you see someone as a god, you can no longer see them as a human.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about being like, oh, I can touch you, I can this, because you don't see their humanity. Okay, Chappell is a great number 2.
Chappell's my number 2.
I will say that I think Pink Pony Club is so transcendent. That song gives me chills.
Now that's going to be a song where you listen to it.
Yeah, the 2020s movie.
And be like,
nostalgic.
Oh my God.
It takes you to a place.
Your divas actually wish they had wrote that song.
Also, what
Hot to go.
Hot to go.
Yes.
Great. She has like great it's the synth, it's the drums.
Yeah.
I think that she reminds me of that like synthy stage that we had, Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
I also put her in that category.
Yeah.
And
that's great. Yeah,
I enjoy that resurgence that Chappell has brought.
Yeah,
is she my number 2? No, but you're not going to like my number 2. But it's funny, you kind of mentioned my number 2.
Oh, who?
Olivia Rodrigo.
Which honestly...
The Mexican girl that sings the sad songs. That's a meme, guys.
That's always be crying.
That's a meme, guys. She's not actually Mexican.
Yes.
But I think that she is a container of so much, and she actually links to my number 1, who I'm not going to spoil, but people underestimate how much being ethnically ambiguous kind of
is a power.
It's a power, especially for the modern diva.
Yeah.
We've mentioned Tyler earlier. Yes, they were selling her to a Black audience, but she is also very ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah.
Like she codes as, she looks, well, she is because she's multiracial, but there is an appeal to Tyler of like, oh, what is this girl?
Yeah.
Olivia has that.
Yeah.
I think she's half Filipino, half white. I think that's her actual ethnic background. She's very beautiful. And she's also one of Taylor Swift's daughters.
Yeah, and Hayley Williams from Paramore's daughter. Like that's, she is,
You can place her in that lineage, and I think that spot is really open. I think Taylor still dominates, and that's why, the Eras tours, there's like a stadium outside a stadium. There's like thousands of people who can't even get in, who've come to just feel the atmosphere. Yeah. I think Olivia gets there.
And no shit, I think Olivia does it better.
Yeah, it's cleaner. It sounds better to me.
It just works. It doesn't feel, it feels youthful, but then it also feels mature in ways that I don't feel when I'm watching Taylor Swift or listening to Taylor Swift. I think as she's put out more music, and don't get me wrong, like I can say a lot about Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift can write a damn song.
Great songwriter.
But Olivia has really honed in on the art of like her sound and what she's putting out there and how she completely wants to be like taken in.
Yeah. And I think generationally, because like I'm an elder millennial.
Yeah.
Millennials of my age perhaps don't know how big this girl is. That for girls currently in middle school, in high school, maybe going off to college, that's who they wanted to be. They love her. And
that Disney machine will work.
That was what I was going to say, the pipeline, right? And she's chosen Sabrina also comes through that Disney pipeline, and Olivia has gone in the complete opposite direction. Sabrina's kind of doing this, I don't know, playing into, I don't want to say pedophile fantasies, but a certain version of kink that is, I find problematic because she is so small and looks so childlike and plays into that in a way.
Baby doll dresses.
It makes me
also that's a style. Like that's literally
it is a style that I found the album cover with her kneeling. I think it will age badly. Where she's kind of like in that she's the sub and there's a dom. I think it will age badly, but maybe that's just my old womanist politic. I will take it. I'm 39 years old. I'm from the church, so there's still a little bit of conservatism in me.
Said, not on my watch.
Not on my watch. The devil is a liar. Shonda Bobo. Anyway, so I saw that and I was just like, I don't like it. But I think Olivia's making very different choices. I think when Taylor's estate or whoever sued her, I think that was the beginning of her villain era. Yeah. And I think that what comes next for her, what she's doing currently, is just very important.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that you bring up the Sabrina Carpenter connection too, because rivalry is a part of that as well. And they had that contention over a boy, unfortunately, especially if you look at it, it's like, what?
Girl, what?
Most times it's like, why is this man here? Why are we fighting over this man? Like, really?
No man. We should fight over no man.
Please. But that was a large part of like both of their careers and trajectory, the way that Sabrina handled it and the way Olivia handled it. It's like Olivia is in a category of her own right now. Yes. And it's actually, her latest album is just so, it's like this 80s grunge, like pop, like it's just.
She's experimenting.
It's really, really nice to see an artist of this caliber getting to do exactly what they want to do, and it's like happening at such a high level.
Okay. Now I'm going to contradict myself. The only thing about Olivia that I'm unsure of is there the patriarchal control piece? We can call Disney a patriarch. But like, is there that, Because Billie, I think we can tell that she's like fighting the male gaze.
Yeah.
It's so definitive of like, you can see her struggling with it. And then she has a boyfriend and there's these older guys and you can see it's bubbling. With Olivia, I don't know if
Isn't girl power like literally an element of fighting the
even though
it's like
it feels very Spice Girls,
like like it's like youthful, like sign my yearbook girl power. Yeah. But I still think there's a piece of power in that because of the way that she rallies all the like the young girls and like being able to have someone to see themselves. I think she owns that, and she's a power player. She runs her business. She's starting a festival that is like completely for her charity and is like full of all of these women on this list who are performing. I'm like, she has an understanding of that.
She's doing the thing about she's kind of subverting things.
Yes,
she has that subverting.
I do think that is a part of it.
Okay, so that's my number 2. Now, drum roll, please. Remember, they're going to jump you in the comments if they don't like it.
Now,
who is your number 1?
My number 1 is forever and will always be, no matter how many technicalities, Beyoncé.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see a technical. Now you gagged me because I didn't see a technicality coming.
If you give me the opening, there's no world.
And tell me what it is about the 2020s that you put her in number 1.
Beyoncé continues to do something that is so revolutionary, especially after going to her Cowboy Carter World Tour.
Powerful.
I realize that she has been doing some like ancestral work.
Oh, yes.
And she has always continued to reinvent herself, but then keeping the through line that we all love and know about Beyoncé. And to have a longevity, to be able to have the sustainability of being able to like be one of the biggest artists that we're never getting this level of fame.
It's never
coming again.
Which makes me sad.
I know.
Cowboy Carter, I started crying.
It's emotional.
Because I just had my second baby. Every time I go to a Beyonce concert, I've had a baby. But I think it was my third. No, Renaissance was my second. Cowboy Carter was my third.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I just remember, she's got the Star Search footage, and it's just like, and then there's the moments with her in blue, and I remember being like, oh my God, I've watched this girl grow up. Like, we're growing up, we're getting older.
I remember when they made the Tumblr announcement.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is the last time I'm going to see her like this. She's aging, because Beyonce aging means I'm aging, right? And so I just remember having this moment. I'd be, maybe it was the liquor in the suite. Big up all the girls that were in the Cowboy Carter suite. It was just a bunch of fabulous black women who have like CEOs and all of this stuff. So they wanted to get lit because the kids were at home. But I just remember having a moment of like emotion, thinking, oh my gosh, like, wow. That ancestral veneration, talking about Granddaddy, a moonshine man, like the Black American South, the literal black cowboy legacy.
This was for her.
Yeah.
Like
and for them.
Yes. And I think Beyonce for me continues to be the shining example of what it means to perfect and craft your artistry to such a level that she's always looking to top her. She's her only competition.
You've got it.
She's her only competition.
And so I wrote about this
and forever.
Forever. I wrote about this a couple months back I made a wrong prediction about Act 3. I'll own it. I thought Act 3 was coming out on July 4th. It didn't. But I was saying that the reason Beyonce seemed so shocked when she won Album of the Year is because my theory is that with each act, Beyonce is competing with a different version of Beyonce because she has no peers. And I don't think she thought that version of Beyonce would
actually win. No, seriously.
I think she had, she's always been about the split self, like the Janice self, the different personas. Like she's always played with the duality of herself. Again, contradiction.
Yeah.
She was very explicit when it was like Sasha first.
Yeah.
Now I think she makes them complete personas.
Yeah.
So Renaissance was a persona and it was about an uncle. Cowboy Carter is about a grandfather. It's like a different patriarch that she's honoring through this music. And I wonder what the Act 3 version is. Probably going to be rock.
I mean, I'm hoping it's more.
I hope it's not a Destiny's Child album. I'll be so annoyed.
No. I'm actually hoping it's like a rock neo soul infusion.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Like that's what I'm really thinking, because there was something that we've been seeing across these last 2 albums is like she's really digging deep into like her R&B, like no matter, like she's sort of like going back to her roots in a lot of ways.
Deeper register.
Yes,
she's singing like low.
Yes, and like that for me, all of these women are all these people on this list. they fan out when they see Beyonce.
Of course.
They want the photos. They're standing in the lines.
Yes.
Beyonce will forever be my number one. And it's because of her artistry. It's because how she handles herself. It's because she also, and who knows if it's a performance, I like it if it is. But the fact that she does still shock herself when she's getting awarded or getting recognition, that for me is like, she understands this system that she's in, because she's never going to allow it to make her head big. She's never going to, and there's also duality, because she also can be a major B when it comes to the way that she wants her things done.
I mean,
Four was an example of that, where there's that classic clip where she's like in Paris and she's about to do her performance because she done ran away from Jay-Z because he done cheated on her ass. And she's like, so I've given my notes. Is there any more that I need to do?
I talk about, I'm not going to do it again until my notes have been addressed.
Period.
My notes have been addressed before. I agree with you. I think she has all of those contradictions. She has a duality. She has kept reinventing herself.
Yeah.
I think she also has a darkness there.
Yes.
I love to watch Beyonce. So I think that is a great number one. I'm going to come in a bit differently.
Oh, you come, okay.
Because for the plot, you guys know, like, you know, I like a bit of drama.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, girl, we had two fire signs sitting at this table. I'm surprised this whole set ain't exploded.
Anyway, we had some moments.
We did.
We scrapped a bit, but we got there. I'm going to tell you my number one. Okay, and this has taken Beyonce out of the equation, because I wanted to stick to Gen Pop. Yeah. And I need to look back. I really want to look at Beyonce's, we should have this conversation in 2030.
I would love.
In like retrospect, because I wonder how I'll feel about the 2020s versus the 2010s after Act 3 comes out, right? Because there could be a version where we're like, we listen to all Act 3 in
totality.
In that specific context, and be like, It may be, you know, because it's a risk, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Will she be touring it like Stevie is about to tour Songs in the Keys of Life again? Will she be 8 years old and doing Act 3? I don't know. I think it may be 4 self-titled and Dangerously in Love. I don't know.
Absolutely. That feels like residency.
What is the residency? Is this era in the residency? I'm not sure, right?
Yeah.
Because she's going to go to Vegas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite residencies was Vegas. Like,
you know, she's gonna, you know,
yes,
she's gonna retire out there, and you know,
bring back Thanksgiving specials. Actually, that just reminded me that when she was in Vegas, that was a Thanksgiving special that aired.
Bring back like the Rosewood era, those theaters. I want theater Beyonce again so badly. So I'm just saying this because I'm being messy, a messy bitch that lives for the drama. So I've decided to do another number one. And before my preamble is this. I think
I just gotta breathe.
To go back to this 2020s fictional A24 movie that's made in 2045, that is kind of like a capsule movie about this past and the weird political moment and what perhaps a young 15, 16-year-old girl was going through, who she was listening to, how she was living, what she was listening to while she was getting dressed to sneak out and have unprotected sex with a guy in a state where there's no abortions.
Ooh, haven't we all been there?
You know? And I think that this artist, in terms of divas, is the most definitive of the 2020s, even though it's very controversial. My number one is Charli XCX.
Nowhere could I have ever imagined you were going there.
Charli XCX. I think she has all the, again, another Asian on the list. I had 2 Asians. All these bi-rascals, they always make it somehow.
Explain to me.
Let me explain it to you. Okay, we have the ethnically ambiguous piece that I speak to a lot. That means that, and this is the thing about the ethnic ambiguity. I think it then makes you a global star. And it's what Mariah had. That wherever people are in the world, they can look at you and be like, you could be in my family.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, like you're kind of my cousin.
Is she Creole? Is she? I think there is something to that unifying face, for good or for bad, and it actually speaks to how we sometimes fetishize mixed race people and mixed race women specifically. But I think Brat, that nihilism, that energy of I wake up and I do ketamine and I do a bump of coke and I sleep with a guy and I'm self-destructive and I'm not eating enough.
Yeah.
That energy is what a lot of young girls are living.
Yeah.
And they're kind of apolitical.
Yeah.
Because they are apathetic. They woke up to Brexit when they were in secondary school, or they were in middle school or high school and Trump won and Hillary lost. And I think it did something to them psychically.
Yeah.
They've rejected feminist politics or post-feminism. They are about the self. All that matters is me. They are me, 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 me. They're hedonistic in a way that millennials could never be. because we wanted to be girl bosses. We wanted to be, we wanted to build empires, right? And I think that hedonism, I think that drug taking, that crazy lifestyle, as much as that's a fringe of Gen Z, I think they're a very important culturally creative cohort.
You know what I also love about this choice is because she also represents a level of honesty that I don't think we've ever gotten from a superstar from her caliber.
Yeah.
Like, Brat not only was such a culture shifting moment, but it was culture shifting because of the honesty that was experienced in those lyrics and that songs. I mean, girl misunderstood. Like, you know what I mean?
And you have to be high. Listen, I hear that music a lot, and I'm like, I don't do drugs.
Yeah, true.
It's like EDM. It's like EDM. You know when you know,
I'm not doing that.
You need to do you need ecstasy. Okay, and my only ecstasy is Jesus. Okay,
yeah, it's like, girl, I can only take so many likes.
That's it. Give me people getting caught in the spirit. But I'm saying it's a culture. It's a club culture. It's a rave culture. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's good, because there's also that discourse about like, why is she promoting this lifestyle? But I think it's true. And of all the people on this list, I don't think Beyonce is also always true. I think she likes to be right, but I think she likes to be observed, not seen.
There's a crafted honesty about it.
So she'll be like, I'm going to be honest about this part of my marriage and this part of motherhood, but there's a lot of Beyonce that she doesn't communicate in the music.
Absolutely.
But I see Charli XCX, I look at the performances, I'm like, oh, you roll out of bed at 2 p.m.
No shade, she's low-key Amy Winehouse's daughter.
Amy Winehouse's daughter, but in a way that is able to tether the line in a way I think Gen Z do that millennials, because a millennial millennials, like, it's opioid crisis, right? That's what addiction looks like. It's just like everyone has that friend who just is like a pothead or like drunk or just lost themselves to addiction and never became a thing.
Absolutely.
I think Gen Z are kind of just incorporating the vape and the thing into their lives, into their work. Yeah. They're hedonistic and free in a way that perhaps we aren't.
Yeah, and I also, even for like the queer angle of Charli XCX, I mean, because she's collaborated with Billie Eilish and they had that sort of flirtatious energy. And I think
it's very sapphic.
Very much, very much.
She is very sapphic.
And Charli understands the power of that and like giving her queer fans what we all want.
And she's central to queer culture.
Absolutely.
She goes up in lesbian clubs and gay clubs. This is what they are playing.
Yeah.
In a way that they're probably not playing anyone else that we've mentioned on this list.
No.
And I also want to say, in terms of, I think her spiritual rival and opposite is Dua Lipa. Because Dua Lipa is so clean. She's also ethnically ambiguous, but so clean and such a good girl, and the beautiful marriage and
the radical optimism.
You know, and it's just like,
I mean, this new album, how do you get your top 3 faves like Martin Scorsese and like Mark Jacobs, all these things on your cover? Like, how are you?
She's an artist.
Yeah, she's an artist, and there's a respect behind it. Like, people respect this sort of like, you know, Club 54 energy that she brings to this table. And
rock star kind of.
Yeah, very rock star. I'm obsessed with that choice. I
think she is the 2020s in a way that I haven't experienced, because I was breastfeeding and raising kids. But if I'm making that project, 20-something years from now, and I want to make a capsule piece about what a young, maybe queer girl or queer boy was listening to in those moments before they left the house and were surveilled on Snapchat, I think Charli XCX is just so definitive. I don't imagine the 2020s in the same way without her. And also, I remember watching a performance, I think it was Grammys or something, and it was so compressed. I didn't enjoy it. I was just, why is it so compressed? She's clearly singing to track. It's not live. But then when you watch the Super Bowl performances, when I watched the World Cup performances,
she's the only person on her stage in her set. To have that sort of power, no dancers, that's like...
She has got a magnetism.
Yeah.
And then she's got the darkness.
Yeah.
She's got the darkness there. And then you can tell her whole work is that tussle with the patriarchy.
Yeah.
So that's why Charli XCX.
Girl, the comments are going to go
I know, but it was because, and I just want to again say, it was because I wanted to pick everyone in Gen Pop. And you know what, I wish we could just do a sleeper Divas episode, because I spent a lot of the 2020s listening to Cleo Sol. I think Syd is so important.
Yes.
Like, the fact that Syd is still relevant.
And the connection to Beyonce.
Connection to Beyonce.
And also, Yebba is literally... someone that when I first heard Yebba's voice, when that viral video of her singing My Mind, and hearing about her story around her mom, completing suicide and like outside of her window, and also understanding the albums that she's put out so far about like that first album, Dawn, was about her mom.
Yeah.
And then, this most recent album is also about the matriarch, her grandmother.
Yeah, these
her
are
roots.
there's epistles to like grief. And
Yes.
like, I love her meditations.
Yes.
And I think given how well she sings, she holds back a lot on these records. Because I'm like, girl, you can.
And I love that, though.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That actually is what it makes a singer an actual artist.
Yeah,
When
right.
you're able to like refine and pull back and then give and take away,
Yeah.
that's an understanding of your craft
Yeah.
in a powerful way.
So I
Obsessed.
think we, the sleeper divas,
I would love, that's...
Because PinkPantheress, there's a conversation to be had about her and how she's changed production.
Absolutely. Her and her handbag.
And we didn't even really get into the K-pop, like the Rose.
No,
and all
we
of that.
didn't. That's a whole other episode. No
Doechii,
shade.
the Doechis. I want to give Doechii, and if I had 4, I think my 4 would have been SZA, because I think her pen is phenomenal.
For sure. And if I had 4, I probably would have given it to Doechii.
Doechii?
I probably would have given it to
Interesting.
Doechii, for sure.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Ryan Mitchell, where can the audience find you?
Okay, you can find me on social media at The Slay God,
Okay.
GAWD, THESLAY GAWD. And of course, you can also listen to my podcast, High Key, with season 11 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, Evie Hadley, where we literally talk to queer culture makers and specifically drag queens, drag races from Drag Race. And we give them an opportunity to have a conversation and be seen in a different light, be able to talk about their expertise and to be able to talk about their experience with a fan. And to be honest, recently, it's been so wonderful to have specifically Black drag queens on our show because we've been able to give them an opportunity to talk about their experience in a way that they haven't been able to do in any other way. And that's what I love about my show. It's just, I might be biased, but I love it.
It's great.
I love it.
You
So
guys have to
check out
listen.
High Key.
Thank you so much, Ryan. This was so fun.